Are you ready to have your website get found by the right people? Are you looking to rank at the top of Google so you get more traffic to your website? Are you ready to learn how to use SEO and content marketing to grow your organic traffic? If so, you are in the right place, my friend. Welcome to the Simple SEO Content Podcast. Hey, and welcome back to the Simple SEO Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about how often you need to blog for SEO benefit, or just in general. How often do you need to blog in order to drive organic traffic to your website? So I'm sure you know by now, blogging is really the key to driving organic traffic to a website. It truly is what makes the difference, because let's just talk about it for a second. If you have a website and that website has 4 pages and you've optimized those 4 pages, great. You now have chances for 4 pages to rank in Google search results, meaning 4 keywords, maybe let's just say, for the sake of the argument, let's just say that you can rank for 5 different keywords on each of those, because generally a top ranking page will rank for more than just one keyword. So let's say you now have maybe 20 chances of ranking, 20 different keywords, but those keywords are all really closely related to those same 4 concepts. So it's pretty limited. I mean, the reality is, how much traffic are you going to get if you're only able to target people looking for 4 different things related to your business? That's why we blog. So now if we blog and we add additional content to our website, we add additional chances for our website to be found by new customers, by new people. So I generally recommend my students blog once a week. And the reason I do this, there's a couple reasons. One is, once a week is usually a cadence that most small business owners can manage on their own. They can do it because most of my students don't have a big team. Most of my students are a solopreneur. They maybe have a VA or they have a part-time assistant. Maybe they've got somebody that they can have help with some of the writing, but in general, they're doing the work themselves. So if I come in and say, you need to blog daily, they're going to say, there's no way I can do that because I still have to run my business. I still have all these other things to do. And then it's going to feel overwhelming and you're not going to do it. So once a week, we're able to do that and keep it manageable. And it's enough that it gives us a really good chance to rank in the search engine and to drive traffic and to connect with our audience. We also know that the recommendation is to send out a weekly newsletter or a weekly email to our email list if we're building an email list. So by creating new content each week, we have over time multiple opportunities to rank in the search results and to drive organic traffic to our website. So I usually recommend once a week. And I admit that we don't always get a new post every week. You know, I like to take off over the holiday break. I take a couple weeks off. I also cut my hours back over the summer when my son is off school. And this past summer, he did not go to as many summer camps as he normally does. So I cut my hours way back. But I was still able to maintain that once a week cadence, even working fewer hours. By doing that once a week, I figure 50 times a year, because that gives you that little bit of room, that little bit of leeway. You get sick, you go on a vacation, something happens, you're not able to get a new post out, no big deal. So 50 chances versus 4 if you only have a website. So blogging really, truly is the way that you're going to get traffic to your site. And I do understand that sometimes we feel like, are you kidding me? Do I have to do this? Is blogging really part of this? I remember working it had to have been 2009, 10 timeframe, somewhere in there. And we had a website that had some severe technical issues to the point that we had a couple of SEO consultants who told us that we really weren't going to get the results we wanted unless we built a new website, because there were so many technical issues with our site. And it was 15 years ago, almost 15, 16 years ago. I was just really starting to get into SEO. This process and project and everything was actually what really got me fascinated with digital marketing. And when I left that job, I actually went into my first full, complete digital marketing role in like 2011. So I loved being able to learn and see, but I also remember the frustration that the consultants we would talk to would tell us we had to blog. And it was like, if one more person tells me I have to blog for SEO, like what the heck, why? Because I didn't completely understand it. Like I said, I was brand new and my boss was not super interested in blogging every week. And we, it just, as a team, we were like, we're so busy. We don't know that we want to take this on. But then once I got in and I understood and I learned more about how the search engines work and how the content development works and how having those additional blog posts that target different questions that our ideal customer has really lays that foundation and nurtures the clients and does all of this, it made a huge difference. And it helped really open my eyes to the opportunity that blogging presented for our business. And then ultimately, I went on and started working in content marketing in that next role and was working with people who had been some of the founders of content marketing and really starting to learn how it all tied together and how amazing it could be to grow a business. And then I switched agencies and I went to another one where it was e-commerce and they did lots of ads and they were doing some kind of not great stuff with the content, to be completely honest. And that's where it was like, come on, guys. I've seen how this can work. This is what we need to do. And so I was able to help them transition and change and be able to really focus on creating great content for our clients. And that's when I really got to get into running the content marketing strategies. And I went to Content Marketing World a few times and really just learned so much. So if I can share anything with you of the 15 years or so that I've been dealing with SEO and blogging and content, what I can tell you is the content that you create for your website, your blog, then ultimately your podcast, if you're doing a podcast, that content is the foundation of everything that you're doing for your business. If you're still active on social media, you can take those concepts in your blog or snippets from your podcast, and you can use those on social media. You can create reels about the points in your blog post. You can do all sorts of things with them. You can use your blog post as part of your email. So if you're here, you're in my world, each week there's a blog post, there's a podcast, and there's an email. Every Tuesday, you get an email that says, hey, how are you today? Thanks for being here, whatever. Sometimes it gives you a little story. Sometimes it doesn't. Depends how creative I am and if I have a story that can tie to it. But I try to share a story. And then I say, hey, this is what we're talking about this week. You can read it over here, or you can listen to it on your favorite podcast app and let me know what you think. That's what you want to do. So you want to blog weekly, ideally at a minimum. If you can do more than that and you can maintain the consistency, that's just going to be amazing because it's going to give you even more potential to rank. But I don't want you to feel like you have to do more than once a week. And if you're in a season, I got this question from a student the other day because she's in a season where there's other things that she's having to focus on in her personal life. And there's some stuff that's happened and they've had to travel and they've had to take care of a sick family member. And she's like, I can't keep up with this. I'm struggling. I can't get the weekly blog post. And I feel so bad because I know how important it is. And I'm going to tell you what I told her. There are times in our life where we can't do it. And as long as you've already got some content on that website, you've already got, a handful of blog posts, 10, 12, whatever, reshare an old post that week. Like if you can't do it because life has happened, your kids are sick, you're sick, somebody's broken a limb, somebody's in the hospital, whatever, it's okay to reshare an old post. It's okay to skip a week. It's okay to go down to a cadence of every other week or once a month to get through that season of life. I've had seasons where I didn't write a new blog post for a while because some of you know, I don't share super openly, but my mother has Alzheimer's. And there are times where that means I have to take more of my time to help with things for her because I'm the only family caregiver. I don't have a sibling who lives in the same state as me anymore. So it's me. So there are times that I've had to skip publishing a new blog post for a while because I had to help mom. And as soon as I can get back to it, I get back to it. Sometimes I create a couple extras. Sometimes I don't. It just depends. But for you, your ideal is one a week. I'm sorry. One a month. One a week is ideal. That's the goal. If you can do that, that's kind of the gold standard. Fantastic. You're going to have 50 opportunities to rank for keywords, 50 opportunities to drive traffic to your website each year, and that's going to build exponentially from there. So it's 100 the second year and 150 the third year, etc. If you can't do it every single week, just be as consistent as you possibly can, because consistency really is the key with your email, with your podcast, with your blog posts. It's really what's going to help your business grow more than anything is that consistency. All right, that's it for today. Let me know if you have any questions. I will see you back here next week. That's all for today's episode of the Simple SEO Content Podcast. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you visit my website, etchedmarketing.com, and visit the freebies tab. Right there, you're going to find the SEO Content Quick Start Guide along with the free SEO class. So you'll have everything you need to know to get started with SEO and content marketing. Then do me a favor, if you wouldn't mind, if you would do a rating and a review of this podcast on your favorite platform. That would really help spread the message, and I do greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can always DM me on Instagram at Etched Marketing Academy, and I will see you right back here next week.